Welcome to Rad, a daily reader for Reddit. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. My boyfriend isn't okay with me being promiscuous in the past. Update. www.reddit.com. Thank you for all the advice. I ended up bringing it up yesterday and it instantly turned into an argument again. He asked me why I'm defending thoughts so much yet again. Asking me why I cared so much about what he thought about women who sleep around. He then went on to say I should have known better than to sleep with so much guys and that I knew what I was doing. He said I was straight up a thought in my past but he loves me and is willing to look past it. Yeah, no. I stood my ground and said I can't be with anyone who sees women like that and that I wasn't going to let him talk to me like that. I broke things off and he called me stupid for thinking he would let me break up with him, and that turned into a whole new argument about how I ain't loyal and I ain't no ride or die chick. I also blocked him on all my socials and he is still making accounts to contact me on. Definitely made the right decision to end things. Also to the people who messaged me saying he was right and that I deserved to be dumped. That nobody likes a used up chick. And many other unkind words. It was so unnecessary and I hope you step on a Lego. Edit. Typos and thank you for the rewards. Heart. I knew you weren't ride or die. But ha ha ha, that's a yikes from me, dog. You don't just get ride or die, you earn ride or die. I don't want ride or die. Ride or die is crazy. As well as being an incredibly cringy thing to say. It's a mechanism used to make people feel guilty for standing up for themselves. For even so much as questioning for a moment if a relationship is actually healthy. It is the kind of mentally cults and gangs employ, and if that is the psychology embedded in your relationship then you're already fricked. I agree with you. Please remember that because what I'm about to say is going to sound like I don't but I do, and also frick this guy. I just thought I'd throw in some input to explain what might be happening for the benefit of other young butthole dudes who might identify with Mr. Rough Rider here. I have a hard time as seeing every knuckle-dragging man-boy on here as some master manipulator. I also find it weird that so much attention is paid teaching women to identify these signs when we also need to teach men to identify their own toxic behavior. 99% of young men are not emotional geniuses who can intentionally do crap to manipulate anyone. It's definitely subconscious, meaning young men need to be taught mindfulness to identify when they're accidentally being the scumbag, and then stop. I was once a scumbag and sincerely had no idea. I'm reformed now. Now the only manipulating I do is around not unloading the dishwasher. But to be fair, I load that motherfricker like nobody's business. I used to be the type of guy that got bothered by body counts when I was in my early 20s, and I can tell you definitively that I was definitely the butthole and at fault for it. But I wasn't playing 4D chess or trying to manipulate anyone. I felt inadequate, that I was beaten by my girlfriend in numbers, and that inadequacy made me want some kind of assurance that she would stay. I think in Reddit speak we would call my tactic love bombing. Though I certainly was not capable of tactical thought. I believe my response to why the body count bothered me was a hastily made-up explanation that, oh, you told me it was expert blowies count so you're a liar. It made no sense, even at the time, but I was too lizard-brained to process it. I was just insecure as frick but couldn't share it because I was insecure as frick. I was a stupid young man who hadn't gained all of his executive function to regulate new and confusing emotions. Men tend to complete physical development of the prefrontal cortex between 24 and 27, whereas women are between 21 and 25. This part of your brain allows you to process emotions and not just feel. It's why children melt down and can't rationalize actions. This is not an excuse. This is an explanation for why there are so many issues with men in the 21 through 26 age group who have been told they are adults, but have the emotional regulation of middle schoolers, which results in being very confident that their feelings aren't straight garbage. It's also a weird time because you're dealing with women who are clearly levels above you developmentally, which also fricks with insecurities. I was in butthole. This guy is in butthole. I think we need to do a better job somehow making men this age realize they are prone to being the butthole. Personally, I think most of us grow out of it. Usually when we chase off a couple awesome partners. At 23 I went through a breakup and basically took 2 years off. And at 25 I had a partner who playfully self-identified as a hoe bag whenever she was single, and I suddenly had the introspection to be terrified that it would bother me. But it didn't. I never asked because I didn't care. As opposed to not asking because I couldn't bear knowing. This is rambly as crap, but I guess the point is for guys under 25. Beware your own brain, and if you struggle to explain your feelings, it's because they are irrational and wrong a solid 95% of the time. Just because science explains why you're in butthole doesn't give you an excuse to be in butthole. Either. Op did the right thing. Not only for herself but for him, since he clearly isn't ready for a relationship and was always going to have a bad time. Try again when you're 25, kid. He obviously wasn't looking past it. Oh, but can't you see? He was willing to do her such a favor by looking past her unsavory past. Why isn't she grateful? He's being such a gentleman to her. No other man would look past it, but he has graciously decided to. I mean, no one else is going to want her, she's all used up. The number of men that have no idea how vaginas or sex works is too damn high. 17 penises, then it doesn't work anymore, right? Yes, but one penis 17,000 times is okay. Hey, don't blame me, it's science. OMG. I just had this conversation with my 17-year-old son. He said something asinine like, girls with lots of partners are like used goods, cause a lot of dudes have hit that before. After restraining myself from knocking his teeth down his throat, I said, let me ask you a question. Let's step back and look at this objectively. Say a girl you like has had 20 partners, but they were all one-night stands. He says, damn, that's a hoe, but okay. I raise a brow and he appropriately apologizes. So I continue, so that girl has only had sex 20 times ever. I see the wheels start to turn. Now, consider you decide to date a girl that's only had one partner before you. They dated for a year or so. Do you really think she only had sex with her ex 20 times in total? Over a year? Do you think you're only gonna have sex with her 20 times over your relationship with her? Of course his response was hell no. So how is your girlfriend that you're banging as often as humanly possible somehow better than their chick that's only had sex 20 times? Quote. He hadn't thought of it that way. I said, yeah, obviously. Oh, and if you ever say something that misogynistic to me again, I'll fill in what you think I probably said yourselves. Lol. I'd suggest you ask your son why he thinks sexual activity reduces women's worth as human beings. Get right to the heart of it. Yep, I didn't think I needed to follow up, but later on, I asked him that, why he thought it was that a dude with lots of partners is a stud. But the same doesn't hold true for girls. He said after we had talked, he really got to thinking about it and he didn't have a good reason. Beyond cultural and or religious stuff. I asked if the situation were reversed. How would he feel if his worth as a human being was looked at as less because he's had more than one partner? He didn't think he'd like it much. Look, my kid isn't perfect. No one's kid is. I've worked hard, put time and effort in learning into being a good parent. I know he's gonna have his own thoughts and opinions and we won't always see eye to eye. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to talk about things and try to change the other person's mind when we really think they are wrong. I listen when he speaks. He does likewise. I didn't actually attack him. I posited a theoretical situation and asked him to look at things from an outside perspective. And he did. The fact that his mind about women having multiple partners may have been changed is great because I don't tolerate many ISMS. That wasn't the only goal. Though, you know, the point was we could actually have that talk, openly and freely, and no, we still love each other and respect each other when it was done. He called me stupid for thinking he would let me break up with him when he contacts you again. Consider making it clear to him that you'll report his harassment to the police if it continues. Then do so if it does. The XBF definitely has women are my property, stalker vibes. Okay, first of all, I hope those people step on many Legos for the rest of their lives. Second, please be careful. That threat about not letting you break up with him. Psycho material right there. Get yourself some pepper spray and never let it leave your side. Continue to block him, and change your accounts if you need to. Change the locks on where you live. All of them. Immediately. Set up something with a friend or family member. A security thing where you text them at a specific time every day. Like 8 p.m. and 10 a.m. every day. Like clockwork. Even if it's just a smiley emoji or something. If you don't text on time, they call and ask if you're okay. And sleep with that pepper spray. Seriously. Yeah, I'll look into doing that. I've told my family about our breakup and to not let him in if he comes around, but I'll definitely take some extra precautions for a while. Oh, here's my advice for the future. Avoid men who say that XYZ type of girl deserves to be treated like crap. Even if you don't fall into whatever category he says, it means he believes there are circumstances that you would deserve to be mistreated. And men like that often have more conditions to be treated with basic human decency than they admit. Good people do not believe they should have a pass to treat certain people badly. Lol, it's step on a Lego. Edit. Also good for you. P.S. I hope they trip and their dick lands hard on a pile of Legos. Aside from that, the best I ever heard was, I hope your socks are always wet and your sex is always dry. Out. No one feels special buying a car that's been used. Your ex-boyfriend was in the right until he started acting psycho. Downvotes to the right. You see, the key difference between buying a used car and being with a woman who has slept with many men is that women are in fact not inanimate objects. I know it's a tough concept for some people to grasp, but for the sake of humanity, please try to get it through your thick skull and into your tiny brain. Haha dude, what do you mean women aren't inanimate objects? Your mother just laid there like a log if my memory serves right. Thanks for watching Rad. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. If you like these videos, check out Rad too.